From the T.J. Watson Research Center in Yorktown Heights, New York, this is Jeopardy, the IBM Challenge. Please welcome back our contestant. He has never been defeated, and his winnings of more than $3.2 million make him Jeopardy's all-time biggest money winner. From Los Angeles, California, here's Brad Rutter. An IBM computer system able to rapidly understand and analyze natural language, including puns, riddles, and complex questions across a broad range of knowledge. Please welcome Watson. In 2004, he captivated America by winning 74 consecutive matches and $2.5 million on Jeopardy! From Seattle, Washington, here's Ken Jennings. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Jeopardy, the IBM Challenge. As I mentioned on yesterday's show, about 3 years ago, IBM came to us with an idea for their next grand challenge in computing. What exactly is a grand challenge? Let's find out.
This is IBM research, and we're supposed to be pushing the limits of science. I mean, that's our job, to look for exploratory challenges that help us drive science.
There's two types of innovation. There's incremental innovation, improving existing products and advancing them in sort of a linear fashion. But we like to present our teams grand challenges.
Imagine the challenge of putting a man on the moon for the first time. IBM played a big part in that accomplishment.
Chess was a grand challenge that was identified in the 60s. People said that no computer will ever beat a human chess grandmaster.
It would be a landmark to show that we understood computer technology well enough to take on this task that we thought was really restricted to human intelligence. And we did that with Deep Blue.
Another grand challenge is around using computers to map the human genome. We call the computer Blue Gene, Blue for IBM, Gene for genomics. We encourage people to work across disciplines on these grand challenges. And it's these sorts of things that produced the big breakthroughs that IBM has done for the past 100 years.
Language is an area where, from the very beginning of the computer era, people kept expecting computers to do reasonably well at. They expected computers could talk. And so far, the computers have failed to deliver on this promise.
There's something called open question answering that has been a problem in computer science from the beginning. It's much more difficult than search. It's not about a single keyword. It's much more the way normal humans communicate.
Humans communicate very fluently in images, in literature, in writing. People get natural language because it's a human artifact. They relate those words and those phrases back to the way they think.
When you say kissing and liking and happy, what's that inside there, that combination of things that we understand as humans, but that the machine has no way of understanding?
We were mainly interested in using Jeopardy as a playing field upon which we could do some science. We wanted the ability to use questions that had not been designed for a computer to answer.
Jeopardy really represents natural language. You have to understand all the nuances and all the regionalisms and the slang to get the clues. It's not just a piece of information.
Here are the categories that you will play. Men of music, sci-fi.
Ultimately, we're not playing Jeopardy. What we're trying to do is make computers better at processing all that natural language content. It is irresistible to pursue this, because as we pursue understanding natural language, we pursue the heart of what we think of when we think of human intelligence.
All right, it's time now to get back to work. We start off by putting the scores back on the readers as they were at the end of the Jeopardy round. Ken, you're in third place. That means you go first in double Jeopardy when we come back after this break. Welcome back. Ken, you've got your signaling device ready, I see. Here are the categories for you to select from in Double Jeopardy. First off, Etude Brute. Next, Hedgehog Podge. Don't worry about it. The art of the steal. Cambridge, and finally, church and state, with each of those words in quotation marks. Start us off.
Let's try Don't Worry About It all the way down at 2,000, Alex.
It's just acne. You don't have this skin infection, also known as Hansen's disease. Watson.
What is leprosy?
You are right.
Etude brute for 1,600.
Music fans wax rhapsodic about this Hungarian's transcendental etudes. Watson.
Who is Franz Liszt?
You are right.
Don't worry about it for 1,600.
You're just a little stiff. You don't have this painful mosquito-borne joint illness with a Swahili name. Watson?
What is dengue fever?
Dengue fever, correct.
Etude brute for 1,200.
Paganini's 24 Capricci set the standard for etudes for this instrument. Watson?
What is violin?
Good.
2,000, same category.
From 1911 to 1917, this romantic Russian composed Etude Tableau for piano. Watson?
Who is Rachmaninoff?
Rachmaninoff is correct, and that adds to your lead. You're at 13,400. Go again.
Don't worry about it for 1,200.
You just need a little more sun. You don't have this hereditary lack of pigment. Watson?
What is albinism?
Good.
Cambridge for 1,600.
Answer, Daily Double. What are you going to wager?
I'll wager $6,435.
I won't ask. I won't ask. Here's the clue for you, Watson. The chapels at Pembroke and Emmanuel colleges were designed by this architect.
Who is Sir Christopher Wren?
You are right, and that adds to your total. 21,035. Go again.
The Art of the Steal for 1,600.
In May of 2010, 5 paintings worth $125 million by Braque, Matisse, and 3 others left Paris's museum of this art period. Watson?
What is Picasso?
No, sorry. Ken?
What is Cubism?
No. Brad?
What is Impressionism?
No. The correct response, what is modern art? Modern art. No harm, no foul on that. You each lost the same amount, but Watson retains control of the board.
Hedgehog podge for 1,600.
Answer. Hedgehogs are covered with quills or spines, which are hollow hairs made stiff by this protein. Watson?
What is keratin?
You are right.
The Art of the Steal for 1,200.
Answer. The other Daily Double. Watson, what are you going to wager?
1,246, please.
1,246. Here is the clue in The Art of the Steal. The ancient lion of Nimrud went missing from this city's National Museum in 2003, along with a lot of other stuff.
I'll take a guess. What is Baghdad?
Even though you were only 32% sure of your response, you are correct. Go again, Watson.
Church and State for 400.
A Dana Carvey character on Saturday Night Live. Isn't that special? Watson.
Who is the church lady?
Yes.
Hedgehog podge for 400.
Some hedgehogs enter periods of torpor. The Western European species spends the winter in this dormant condition. Watson again.
What is hibernation?
Right.
Cambridge for 400.
With much gravity, this young fellow of Trinity became the Lucasian professor of mathematics in 1669. Watson.
Who is Isaac Newton?
You are right.
The Art of the Steal for 400.
Rembrandt's biblical scene, Storm on the Sea of This, was stolen from a Boston museum in 1990. Watson.
What is Galilee?
Yes.
Church and State for 800.
To bring back someone to his original function or position. Ken.
What is reinstate?
Reinstate is right. That takes you to 1,200. Takes us to our commercial break. We'll come back right after this.